So it seems like Imran Khan, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Imran Khan, will not survive the no confidence vote. He was voted out by the parliament. It seemed like he was going to survive and managed to get an early general election. He failed at doing so. At first, he dismissed the parliament, and the president of Pakistan approved the dismissal of parliament. But the Supreme Court said that his move was unconstitutional, and the parliament was reinstated. The parliament reached a majority. They voted him out. So, sad news for Imran Khan. Imran Khan from the beginning was pointing at it was United States intervention. They even put his place in jeopardy. That put his seat in jeopardy. So he accused the United States and Israel for trying to oust him, saying just because he met with Vladimir Putin on the eve, or was it on the eve or on the first day of the invasion of Ukraine, he met Mr. Vladimir Putin in Russia. He went and visited Moscow, and it seemed like it was deemed by Western countries that it was a sign of support, a co-promotion of the war, and I think it was a dumb move to play, especially going there by yourself, because even right now, just recently, all the Arab countries, they sent their foreign ministers to Moscow to meet with Mr. Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia. But they did that jointly. They did that together. Doing that on your own and you going yourself was, in my opinion, was a dumb move, especially in a country. If many of you guys don't know about Pakistani politics, it's a country run completely by the military. And the military is basically allied to the United States. They helped the United States in their war against terror. When they fought in Afghanistan, they helped them a lot. Mr. Obama had lots of strikes inside Pakistan. But at the same time, 9/11 terrorist Osama bin Laden was also in Pakistan for a long time in his life. So that's also something to keep in mind. And my understanding is that information was hid from United States intelligence. But at the end of the day, United States has very strong grip, very strong power over the military in Pakistan. They've even removed, this is dating back in the Cold War, they've even removed heads of states, physically, they've removed them, that were allied with the Soviet Union. The CIA did several regime changes in Pakistan. I want to say regime change, but they did oust several leaders. And Mr. Imran Khan is the latest, well, allegedly he's the latest guy to be ousted by the CIA in the United States of America. There is obviously no proof, it cannot be proven that they're the one that ousted him, because officially a no confidence vote booted him. Now, could the United States of America be behind this? Very likely. His appreciation of Mr. Putin was his downfall. I'm going to be frank with you guys. Most Muslim countries support what Mr. Putin is doing because they don't view it as, oh, look, this is Ukraine that's being hurt. This is the Ukrainian people are being killed, sadly. That's not the point of view over there. I'm not saying the Muslim people. I'm not really sure what the Muslim people think, because over there is no freedom of press. There is no freedom of speech. We don't really know what the people are thinking. And over here, like I live in, they call it mini Beirut in Dearborn, Michigan, where there's 80,000 Arabs all living here. Muslims, Christians, atheists, all types of Arabs living here. People that are anti-Israel, people that are pro-Israel, they all live in this one little city. It's called mini Beirut on the outskirts of Detroit. Over here, it's mixed feelings about Ukraine. You see some people hanging the Ukrainian flag. You see some people completely pro-Russia. Why would anyone be pro-Russia? I will tell you why, just very quickly. Russia was the first country to fight ISIS in Syria. They're the one that supported the president of Syria, Mr. Bashar al-Assad, to fight ISIS and the rebels that are allied with Al-Qaeda and ISIS. I don't care what the media is going to tell you. With all due respect to all outlets of the media, these guys are real journalists, real reporters that are always on the front lines, and nothing but love and respect to anyone that puts his life on the line to break news. But most of the journalists don't even know they're spreading this false agenda. They just don't know. They really think they're doing what's good, what's up. But they're just, in my opinion, they're out of touch from reality just a tad bit. They don't know how you and me live. They're kind of out of touch from reality, but that's not the point. No matter what the media wants to tell you, with all due respect, the rebels that were against Mr. Bashar al-Assad eventually did ally with the Islamic State. In Aleppo, in Raqqa, in several parts of in Idlib, several parts of the area. Obviously, the Kurdistani region in the beginning was allied with the Islamic State and the rebels, but when they got American support, they got their own anonymous region far away from the Syrians, the Turks, the Islamic State. So for the first 4 years, it seemed like Mr. Bashar al-Assad, was on the verge of being toppled at any moment, until the interference of Mr. Vladimir Putin when he sent in the Russian military to protect Mr. Bashar al-Assad's regime and fight back ISIS. Immediately, you saw the effect of Mr. Vladimir Putin entering the war. Within a couple years, before Mr. Vladimir Putin, and to be exact, before the Russian army entered the war, Mr. Bashar al-Assad's regime only controlled 17% to 20% of the territory. After that, within 2 years, he was in control of 70% of the territory, on the verge of winning. Turkey had to enter to protect the rebels and the Islamic State. When Mr. Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, became president, quote unquote, there was a silent agreement between the United States of America and the Russian Federation to fight ISIS in Iraq and Syria, the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, and it was defeated during that time. Yes, there are small pockets of places where ISIS is right now, but it's very minimal. It's extremely under control. Now, people are going to say, but why don't the Muslim countries, why don't Muslim people appreciate Mr. Donald Trump like they appreciate Mr. Vladimir Putin? Because Mr. Vladimir Putin wasn't the one that made Jerusalem the capital of Israel. That's a big thing from all Muslims around the world, because they believe, or Muslims view, in their point of view, according to several Muslim scholars, that Judgment Day, when we are all going to be judged, it will take place on the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. And that territory was disputed territory. Historically, the UN gave East Jerusalem to the Palestinians and West Jerusalem to the Israelis. So it was split in half between the two, because both religions view Jerusalem as their place, as their heart. But Mr. Donald Trump did not view the history, did not view context, just went at what his his son-in-law was telling him, Mr. Jared Kushner, who is a Jewish person, what he told him. And he obviously made Jerusalem the capital of Israel, which has led to several problems. And that's why Mr. Donald Trump is extremely loathed by the Muslim people. So that's why Muslims and Arabs all around the world, they like Mr. Vladimir Putin. Unlike what the media likes to say, ISIS was created to kill Muslims. ISIS was not made in Spain or in Portugal or any place like that. It was in Syria and Iraq. It killed several Muslims. Almost 1 million Muslims died, and about 50 million had to migrate to different countries. That's very sad. I'm pretty sure all races and all religions are against these barbarians. And we're also against the war in Ukraine. But I just told you the point of view on Muslims. I know I went into too much detail, but that's how Muslims view the things on the ground. Now, Mr. Imran Khan, while trying to score some political points, I believe, trying to boost his election chances, because right now, speaking with Pakistani people, they are upset at what happened. The mass majority of Pakistani people like Imran Khan, especially after he's shown this anti-Israel, anti-American push and want to support Putin. And as I was trying to get to, all the Arab countries want also to support Putin, but not as strongly as Imran Khan did. Why did all the Arab countries support a barbarian that's killing Ukrainians on the ground? Because the same thing that's happening in Ukraine happened before in Afghanistan and happened before in Iraq, happened before in Libya by Western forces. They view this as getting even with Western forces. Even though you can say, wow, that's a sick way of viewing things. This isn't my point of view. I'm just trying to give you the people's perspectives. On this channel, I don't have a point of view. I'm just trying to give you different perspectives on how people see things. Now, Mr. Imran Khan obviously jumped the gun, and now he's been ousted from office. Will there be violent unrest? I believe so. People are not going to like what happened right now. People view as America pulling the strings, and I'm going to tell you another thing. Muslims are all anti-American in the Middle East and in Central Asia. Obviously, over here, most Muslims are high or in hookah lounges. They don't know what's going on in politics. No one knows what's going on. Muslims in Dearborn here, we have the most hookah lounges in the world. We have I think 12. Just in one small city. One metro, one pocket of Metro Detroit, we have 12. Actually, no. They just opened the Glass House on Love. We have 14. I just remembered. 2 were opened very recently. We have festivals at night. Just people eating, going out, dating. Here, they don't care. But over there, they're all anti-American because of the support for America for Israel. In case any Americans or any Westerns are confused as why there's Muslims that are anti-American, anti-West, it all has to do with Israel. That's it. It's nothing more confusing than that. It's nothing bigger than that. It's nothing deeper than that. It's all with Israel. Because Islam has a huge connection and a tight connection historically with Christians. Because during when Prophet Muhammad was relaying his message to the world, the Muslims, or the followers of Prophet Muhammad at that time, were being killed, were being imprisoned, were being tortured. Because Prophet Muhammad, one of his first messages was to abolish slavery. This was in 620 AD. He wanted to abolish slavery in the Arabian Peninsula, which was extremely unpopular. And they had to leave. They had to leave the Arabian Peninsula. Prophet Muhammad told his followers to go to, I think it's modern day Ethiopia. I don't know where it is exactly, but go to a place in North Africa. He said, there you will meet a Christian king. He is kind, fair, and just. He will protect you. When they sought refuge there, the Christian king accepted them fully. It was an African Christian king. He asked them, what's your view on Jesus and Mary? He said, we view Jesus as the soul of God. Mary is the purest woman known to mankind. She birthed a child without a touch of a man. Even though there is Omar ibn Khattab, a later caliph of the Muslims, was anti-Islam, he went there to persuade the king not to accept the Muslims. So the Christian king said, I swear on Jesus himself, the only difference between the Quran and the Bible are only a few sentences. As you guys believe in Jesus and Mary to be holy, I will accept you in my land till the end of time. So there's a huge relation between Muslims and Christians historically, where Jews have occupied the land. In Muslim view, this is not my point of view. I wish we can all live in solidarity and peace together. But in Muslim view, the Jewish people have falsely occupied the land in Palestine and are being killed and being tortured and and illegal settlements are happening that cannot be denied by anyone from the Israeli people on Palestinian property. So that's the problem. That's the only reason why there is a backlash or a hate or anti-Western feelings from Muslims to the West. That's it. Now, Imran Khan was trying to gain a few political points. It concluded in him being ousted from the government. He jumped the gun extremely. And I don't want to revel on more than this. I just hope anyone that's listening, I know it's a new channel, anyone that's listening, I hope you guys got the point, got the gist of stuff. I'm just trying to give you guys all the perspectives in the world, and hopefully you guys learn something new. Like, subscribe, and stay woke.